world would be a better place if everybody had a perfect deadlift, don't you think? You're about to see the best set of steps for that perfect deadlift you've ever seen. Step 1. Approach the bar so that your shins are 1 inch away from the barbell, putting it directly over the middle of your foot. Step 2. Without bending your shins to the barbell, grab the barbell just on the outside of your shins. Do not move the barbell. Step 3. Push your knees forward until your shins meet the barbell, dropping your hips down into position. Step 4. Push your chest through and pull your shoulders down towards your hips. Step 5. Push your knees out into your forearms and drag the barbell directly up your legs, keeping it in contact all the way until you're standing straight up and down. Then push your hips back and lower the bar down to the floor, keeping it in contact with your legs the entire time. And that, my friends, is how you do a perfect deadlift. I'm gonna keep the content coming. Follow for more.
Deadlifts are a great exercise to build the entire backside of the body, but only if you do them right. Step 1. Stand with your feet hip width apart and the bar over your midfoot. Align your ribs and hips by tilting your pelvis back and bracing your core as if you're about to be punched in the stomach. Step 2. Make a fist and punch your hands down to the floor to activate your lats. Push your hips back and bend your knees until you can reach the bar. Grab it just outside your knees. Step 3. Drive your knees out against your arms, take a deep 360 breath and brace your core. Extend your chest to flatten your back, then squeeze your armpits to activate your lats. Step 4. Push down with your feet until the bar passes your knees and then thrust your hips forward to finish the lift. Step 5. Push your hips back and slide the bar as close as possible along your thighs. Once the bar passes your knees, bend your knees and slide it along your shins to return to the starting position. Congrats! You've just done the perfect deadlift.
Alright, here's 10 easy progressions to help you do a pull-up. Once you can do 10 clean reps, move on to the next. First is the wall pull-up, then the chest height inverted rows at hip height, and elevated hip height inverted rows. Then scapular pull-ups, chair-assisted pull-ups, negative pull-ups, jumping pull-ups, banded pull-ups, and finally, your first official pull-up.
A lat pull-down mistake is flaring the elbows to the sides. This happens when you focus on pulling towards your neck rather than your chest. When you do pull-downs like this, it minimizes the activation of the lats and shifts the emphasis towards biceps and upper back. What you want to do instead is tuck in your elbows and focus on pulling towards the upper chest to get the maximal amount of lat activation.
Lat pull-down mistakes that are killing your back gains. The first mistake is not keeping your elbows within the line of pull, causing the triceps to take over. The correct way is to keep your elbows within the line of pull to maximize back activation. The second mistake is flaring your elbows out, causing the upper back and biceps to take over instead of the lats. The correct way is to tuck in your elbows as you pull to maximize lat involvement.
Notice the difference. She said similar to
Know the difference.
Now when we're doing this to make it easier, not easier, but more optimal, when I'm pulling with this, I don't want to just be kind of pulling here because a lot of times we just get this part of our hand pulling. I want to almost feel this part. I'm trying to bend this thing in half, like this way. But I'm not trying to do it where now my elbows are like this. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to do this so my lats pull in, so when I'm pulling in, it moves straight down. Just a little bit like this. It's the exact same thing as if I was pressing, right? It's the same thing. And the same thing as an overhead press. So we did an overhead press. Here's your pull down. Here's your overhead press. Pull down, overhead press.
Here's how to properly perform the landmine T-bar row. A common mistake I'll see with this exercise is people are too far upright like this. When you're rowing like this, you're using more of that upper trap. So instead, you really have to brace your core tight, get your hips back, and try to be as parallel with the floor as you can to get the most out of this exercise as you row.
Listen up, you've got to try these two chest supported row variants. With the first version, you're going to keep your elbows tucked in, which will target your lats and mid-back. With version 2, flare your elbows, which will target rear delts and traps.
Are you struggling to get an aesthetic, strong looking back? Try this exercise.
Get a bench and make sure to increase the incline to around 45 degrees. And lay belly flat on the bench. Preferably you should try scooting up and try to get your chest slightly over the bench. Make sure to have good posture and puff your chest out. If you want to target the rear delts, keep a 45-degree angle grip and pull toward your delts. To hit the lats harder, you can do a neutral grip and pull toward your hips. Follow me to get a strong back and to level up in the gym.
What happened?
Alright, quick tip, when you're doing dumbbell rows, don't keep your body completely still because this prevents your scapula from protracting, which takes the tension off your lat. Instead, push your shoulder blade down at the bottom and reach your arm towards the ground, then roll the weight up towards your hips so you can fully stretch and contract your lat.
Here's how to do barbell rows with perfect form. Step 1. Set the bar on a rack at around knee height. Grab the bar with a wide overhand grip, lift, and take a few steps back. Step 2. Set your feet hip-width apart, then stabilize your body by leveling your pelvis and engaging your core as if someone were about to punch your stomach. Step 3. Push your hips back and slide the bar along your thighs until it passes your knees. Step 4. Stay tight and pull back with your elbows to lift the bar up towards your stomach. Let your elbows flare out to about a 45-degree angle and squeeze your shoulder blades together to engage your back muscles. Step 5. Control the bar down and fully stretch your back muscles by letting your shoulder blades open up. Keep going until your arms are fully extended, then repeat for another rep. Congrats, you've just done the perfect barbell row.
Them want to wind them ways. Tell them forward.
A greater range of motion.